here. I'm going to be doing a Mercury Retrograde focus reading for you because we just hit Mercury Retrograde, so why not? Now, guys, Mercury Retrograde travels over 3 weeks. Remember that. There's a shadow period either side as well. So just remember that to back up your technologies, return to the X's, all the fun stuff. But remember that retrogrades give us a chance of reflection, so it's not all bad, okay? So what I've done for this reading, I've got 3 piles, and I want you to ask what your focus is for this Mercury Retrograde period, okay? So I've asked the focus for you, your focus in love, and Spirit's guidance for the retrograde period, okay? So take a deep breath, hand on heart, ask what your focus is. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Remember to close your eyes. The first number that comes to you or the first card you feel guided to look at will be yours. Okay, so if you do need some more time, guys, pause the video. Otherwise, let's get into it. What is our focus for this Mercury retrograde in Libra? Okay, so focus for pile 1. Let's get into it. Okay, pile 1. I feel like you guys have been working on something, maybe recently or maybe this year or maybe even for a little bit longer. I feel like for you, maybe it was like an idea or maybe even a business venture that you started on. You kind of got the foundation, you've been building, you've been learning, it's been something you're really passionate about. And now I feel like this Mercury retrograde, it's kind of looking back at it and seeing, if it's something that you want to continue with, but also if it's something you just need to change. Okay, I feel like for some of you, like there's a bit of passion lost here. The world has definitely thrown some curveballs this year, so it's no surprise that sometimes we get a bit thrown off course. But I do feel like you're kind of at a bit of a crossroads because you're just a bit like, I feel like I've been putting so much energy into it, like it's grown, but it hasn't really taken off. It's just, like it's good, but it's not great. And I feel like it's maybe drained you a little bit to the point where you're like, I don't know if I want to keep going with this. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be a business, but I do feel like it has something to do with like a success, like a financial success here, like I said, and that's why I'm sort of feeling business energy. But I feel like for some, this could relate maybe to just a job in general or a study or a career path. I do feel like it's a bit more sort of like academic career based as opposed to relationships. But also maybe it is a relationship for some, but I do feel like first and foremost, like I said, it was a business or project you've kicked off and now you're at a bit of like, do I still want to do this? Is it worth it? Is it going to yield results? Maybe I need to do something else and just leave this for now. Or maybe I need to leave it for good, or maybe I need some help, or maybe I need to, it's really going through that process of being like, okay, how can I improve this situation that works best for me? Okay, I feel like that's kind of the big question for you this Mercury retrograde. So rather than pushing for growth, use this time to kind of go, okay, which way do I want to go? If I leave it behind and go a whole new path, like that's awesome. It's a new adventure. Try not to let that fear of, but I put so much work and effort into it, I can't just walk away or whatever, let you get like kind of hold you back. It is a very egotistical thing to be like, but I put in so much time, like it will all be wasted if I just throw it away. And it's kind of like, well, no, because it opens up a whole new door of opportunities, take the lessons that you learn from it and keep going. But like I said, it's not about throwing in the towel. Like if you're not ready to throw in the towel, don't. Like I said, the decision's always yours, but the reason things might feel a bit stuck right now and why Mercury will pull you up is because it's like, you've got to decide. Do you want to just keep trucking along and half-assing it, or do you want to really commit, or do you want to drop it completely? Okay, so just sit with that. It's not about right or wrong. And again, it's trying not to let I feel like whoever this message is for, pile 1, there's a lot of external stimulation that gets the better of you. So if you were to perhaps be like, no, this isn't for me anymore and go a whole new direction, like maybe you have your parents or friends being like, oh my God, don't you ever just commit to one thing? Or, oh, I thought it was going really well, and people kind of almost not intentionally, but they almost put that guilt on you that you should maybe be better or do better. And so you think, oh, well, I'll stick it out. But at the end of the day, if it's not bringing you joy, if it's not feeling right, it's okay to take a whole new path. You are always in control of that driver's seat. Okay. So this is something to look at, this Mercury retrograde. Like I said, it's definitely feeling more around career status, whether it was a business you started, whether it was a job you started, whether it was studying, whatever it was. Like, I feel like you've kicked it off, you've put a lot of time into it, you've been really excited about it, but maybe the results have been a bit meh. And so you're like, I don't know which way to go. Okay. But remember, the longer you take to make a decision, the longer you stay stuck. So it's important to sit with it, weigh it up, pros and cons, take your time. Mercury is 3 weeks, and like I said, with a shadow, not a time for action. It's a great time for reflection. Look at options that maybe can take it to the next level, or look at opportunities that are maybe in a whole different path. Okay, that's for you, pile 1. That is your Mercury retrograde focus. If we look at your love life focus this month, okay, so we have separation here. Now, I feel like there's a bit of a double message. For some, I feel like it's saying if you are already in a relationship, or maybe if you're even just dating someone, or even in a situationship where there's no real commitment, I feel like this is kind of, again, asking you to reflect on if this is the relationship for you, and if it's something you want to keep pursuing, or if it's something that you might need to call quits. Okay, I feel like especially those who have had intense lockdowns together, things like that, or just, who might have realized that with the world events, you've got different values, you've got different beliefs, because it's brought up, it has created a bit of a divide. And, again, it's just saying, is this something you want to keep pursuing? For others, potentially singles, I feel like potentially maybe you were in a relationship and you went on a break, or someone's on the other side of the world because of COVID or something like that. And so you're physically not really able to pursue a relationship. So, it's those kinds of things that you've got to just look at the bigger picture. Is it, and that's why I said, this is pretty general across the board, but I do also feel like that in love. Some of you are separated and it's physically getting to that point where it's I don't know if this is worth pursuing. Or maybe you're actually dating and you're like, I don't know if this is worth pursuing. But either way, some of you might be in forced separation, like I said, because of world events. Some of you might be considering separation. But again, don't make decisions through Mercury. Take note, maybe communicate. But remember, communication could get a bit weird. So it's just being aware and reflective, okay? It's not saying go break up with your boyfriend or girlfriend. It's just saying, have a look at the relationship. Is it worth continuing? Is there ways you can communicate better and repair things? Do you need to just be a bit more vulnerable? But again, I feel like there's a bit of a divide at the moment, and it's keeping people from actually being in. I feel like for group 1 as well, there's a lot of love, but I just feel like the way the energies are, it's just pushing for a bit of a checkpoint. Okay, so like I said, it's not saying go break up with your partner, but if it comes to a point where you're like, you know what, regardless of how well we might get on, our values don't align, our beliefs don't align, and obviously, that's not going to yield, or maybe it will if you can make it work. But again, it's just Spirit's just saying, have a look at it from a bigger angle and make sure it is something that aligns with you before you keep going. Okay, so Spirit's guidance for you, pile 1. That's interesting. All right, so we have new partner. Okay, so again, this doesn't necessarily mean love, but like I said, I feel like some of you are at a relationship checkpoint, especially after that last one. But again, on the career side of things, this is also saying you might, Spirit's you might come across a new partner, a new friendship, a new mentor, a new business partner. So just be open-minded to the fact that there is new opportunity available to you. You don't have to stay in this situation if it's not feeling good. But like I said, don't make hasty decisions in Mercury retrograde. Wait till it's over. If you're still feeling the same, if you've done all the pros and cons and you still like where you are, awesome. the universe is always going to support your decision. But I feel like for Mercury this time around, you are very much up for making some big decisions, okay? So just be open. It can be scary. It can be, all the stuff that comes with it, cause anxiety, whatever. But this is just saying, like, there is always new around the corner to support your endeavors, to support your goals, to support your desires. So don't dismiss opportunity because of comfort and safety. Okay? So that's for you, pile 1. Quite an intense Mercury retrograde for you. But remember, anything that ends always yields new beginning. And Spirit's like, really, really remember that, because, the more we stay stuck in comfort and whatever, it doesn't allow us to grow. And then we become resentful, and then things just fall to shit. Okay? So like I said, don't necessarily look at this like, oh, Gemma said I had to go break up with my partner and quit my job. No. Just look at where things are maybe not bringing you as much joy or not feeling as enjoyable as they could be. Look at ways to repair and improve it. And if it can't be improved, choose a different path. That's it. Easy. All right, pile 1. So I hope that helps. As always, guys, these are just general messages, so take them as they fit. If it doesn't fit, try a different pile, or, don't worry about it. You can always get a private reading with me too, okay? So let's keep going, moving on to pile 2. All right, pile 2. So what is your focus for your Mercury retrograde 2021? Okay. Interesting for pile 2. Right, pile 2. 4 of Pence and 7 of Swords. So, I feel like for you, pile 2, you have got to maybe focus on some new and improved ways of approaching things. And maybe even the company you keep is a positive sort of notion for you these next few weeks. Again, it's not about jumping the gun. It's just reflection time, okay? Like I said, use it like a checkpoint. But basically, this 4 of Pentacles, you're really harboring everything to yourself. I think even some of you are just being a little bit sneaky. Like, you might not be telling people the whole truth about what you're doing. You might be a bit like, sort of, I'm hearing the words like thief in the night. Like, I feel like maybe you're doing things outside of your normal, and it's like a big secret to you. Like, it's like no one can know about this because it's how I, but you're harboring everything. It's almost like you're trying to sort of make this path to like success or something, but it's coming now at a cost where you're sort of maybe not telling the whole truth. You're not sort of sharing, like you're kind of harboring everything, and not sharing as in like you make your money, you spend your money or give it away. Like, it's just, you're just really trying to sort of do everything yourself, not opening up and letting people in. And it's just starting to come at a bit of a cost because like I said, I feel like you're just sneaking around a little bit. And this, maybe for some of you, maybe this has got to do with some illegal activities. I don't know. But it's just sort of saying, like, have a look here. Do you want to do life like this? Do you want to lie to people you care about? Do you want to hold everything in? Do you want to have to try and do it all yourself? This is that reflection time to say, how can I better approach these situations? Like, how can I open up more? How can I receive as well as give? How can I maybe budget or invest my money better? Because like I said, I feel like this has got to do with, again, like just your approach. Like, you're just sort of doing it in a way that's like, I have to do everything myself. Like, no one can help me. No one can get in. So if I have to do it all myself, like, no one's entitled to my energy or my resources or whatever. It's almost like you just have a hard time sharing. And this is a bit of a hard truth for some. So if this feels like it's hitting some nerves, like, this is, again, something you have to do. And I feel like this is based on a trauma-related response. Okay, maybe you were let down in a relationship. Maybe you got jigged out of a business opportunity. Maybe, your family like had those beliefs, like you've got to just work hard and hustle all the time. And like, I feel like for a lot of you, you've been doing that. But now you're just being a bit like shut off. it's almost like the things you're doing don't feel that great. And so in turn, you're just kind of like, right, if I just really harbor this side of what I'm doing, like, you know, I'll enjoy the rest of my life areas. But that's where we fall out of balance. So, you know, this could be feelings, this could be emotions, it could be struggling. Like, you could be struggling financially, you could be struggling with getting a job or something. And I know a lot of people have had that this year and last year. So, you know, it's saying, excuse me, I saw a release somewhere. You know, so it's saying too, like, if you're struggling, you need to reach out to people. You need to like seek help or seek some guidance. You know, you don't have to do it alone. And, you know, if it's going to start yielding in like sneaking or lies or, you know, doing things that aren't who you really are as a person, like naturally that's going to come back in a karmic way. So for pile 2, like, it sounds quite devious, but I don't feel like it is. It's not malicious intent. I feel like just a lot of you have lost that feeling of being safe, and, you know, you just don't really know how to reach out when you need help. So for your Mercury retrograde, again, it's just asking you to see if your actions are yielding results in a loving, joyful, and positive way, or if they're starting to take a toll on you mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Okay? That's it. That's all it's saying. It's just saying reflect on your approach is what Spirit's saying. Reflect on the way you're approaching things. For some of you, this is going to ask you to really come out of your shell, and that can be very scary. But again, the more ways you can start to see that there are possibilities, the less you need to hold on and go against your true self. Okay? So that's for you, pile 2. You know, for some of you as well, just quickly, this message is also just saying that just be aware. If this doesn't ring true for you as a person, beware that it's not someone close to you. That's another message that just came through really powerfully here. They obviously wanted me to get all the other stuff out, but they're just saying as well, just watch that people aren't taking advantage of you or your money or your time or your energy, and that they're not sort of, you know, sneaking around behind your back. I'm hearing the words two-faced. So like I said, if it doesn't resonate for you personally, maybe there's someone in your life that is going through that process, and that's just asking you to keep an eye out. Okay, not necessarily excusing them for their behavior, but just either saying you're not the people I want in my life, because that's not how I ride, or obviously helping them if you can. But that's just, again, a checkpoint. Are the people you're entertaining in your life quality, or are they just bringing you down, potentially getting you into trouble? Okay. All right, great. Group 2, let's have a look at your love. Okay, so we've got free yourself. So again, that's why I feel like this could almost be related to another person as well. Or like I said, even yourself in a relationship. Again, just be sure that you don't have people taking advantage. When I say love as well, like, this doesn't necessarily just be romantic relationships, but ultimately that is the focus. But could just be, like I said, people you're dating, people you're seeing, people like family, friends, quality, loving relationships that you value. But yeah, just, you know, I think you need to, like I said, look at where people are taking advantage of you, taking your energy. Romantic partners are the same. Are they just using you for certain things? Like, are you convenient to them? Like, when it suits them, are you not getting your needs met? These are all things you need to reflect on during this time of Mercury retrograde. Okay, it's like looking at your love life and being like, okay, well, you know, I'm always organizing this, or I'm always doing that, or like, they only want to see me after midnight. Those kinds of things, they're not the things you want to get involved in. Because pile 2, I feel like you're very much that person of like, I'm a good person. I love my life and I want to just have a good life. But like I said, when we entertain romantic partners and people that just don't give a shit about us, no matter how much we pretend and how much we lie to ourselves, it just keeps us stuck and we don't feel in control. We become anxious. So again, this is just asking you to have a look at the way you're allowing people to treat you in your love life, in your relationships, and just, you know, freeing yourself from anything or anyone or any behaviors you or them, that, don't serve or support you. Remember, if your needs aren't getting met and you have to start lying and have to start tiptoeing around situations, that's not being in control of your own life. And that's what then creates, again, resentment, anger, guilt. That's where we lose ourselves. That's where we fall down. So it's just, look at your love life, whether it's existent or whether you've just been dating or whatever, and just look at where the people you're attracting, the people that show up for you and how they show up for you. Like, do you want to keep attracting and going through that process? Okay, so I do feel like a lot of healing work for you, group 2, this month, like this Mercury retrograde, which will be about a month, just to restore some balance. So I feel like you've got like this life area that's really good, and then there's just this one part that's just a bit different. Like, it's just, like I said, it's a bit deceptive, it's a bit sneaky. And whether that's you performing the actions or someone else, it's just about looking at your friendship circle, your romantic circle, yourself this period, and being like, you know what? I don't want to involve in these activities anymore. I don't want to engage with these people anymore. I don't want to engage in that behavior anymore, and starting to make some changes. Okay? So that is you, group 2, Spirit's guidance for you. Okay. We have family. So this is what I feel like Spirit's saying here is like, again, reflect on your values, reflect on your family. Has this stuff come up? Do you keep attracting the same people in friendships, business, love because of your family dynamic growing up? Is there some family trauma that needs some healing here so you stop going through these cycles? Okay, maybe you need to reconnect with your family. Maybe you need to have some hard conversations. Again, Mercury retrograde is maybe not the best time because communication can get distorted, but it is just saying, like, look at your family dynamic. Where do you need to heal? Where do you need to reconnect? Where do you need to maybe let them go? These are all questions that are worth exploring, asking Spirit for the sign, asking how you can better behave, how you can better look after yourself, and naturally the rest will unfold. Okay? So that's for you, pile 2. Lots of reflection and self-work, I feel like, are going to be the theme for your Mercury retrograde. But, it's just, remember, you can't trick the universe. So if you're sort of out here doing one thing, but you're saying other things, that's out of alignment, and things can't be supported when they're out of alignment. Okay, so just have a look at those areas and where you can, align better to your values, and where you can heal that family trauma, where you can stop attracting this crap, and so you don't need to keep going through this process. Okay, I feel like this is a big spiritual lesson for you, group 2. So it's about really going, you know what? I don't want to keep doing this. And that's when the universe goes, great, let's make changes. Okay? So, pile 2, let me know in the comments if that was you. And remember, you can get your own personal reading if you want to dig deeper on that. All right, but let's finish up with pile number 3. So pile 3, what is your focus for Mercury retrograde? I feel like I want to stretch and move, and I feel like that is you, pile 3. You're feeling very, very tense, very bogged down, just like you want to open right up. So maybe you do. Okay, let's have a look anyway. Oh yeah, that's why there's the stretching and the moving and the yawning. We've got movement. All right, pile 3. We've got the Page of Wands and the Chariot. Page of Wands, this is an idea. This is something that's been inspired. Chariot is movement. Pile 3, you're ready to take some action on something. And I feel like Spirit's leaving this quite open for pile 3, because I feel like this is my creative group. I feel like pile 3 is someone who's always... I feel like you're quite a balanced group in the sense you've always got a life, like a life sector that's kind of needs some attention. And not in a negative way, but it's always like, okay, I've got my career sorted. Now let's look at my love life. Now let's look at my family life. Now let's look at my health and wellness. And then when, sort of everything starts going like something else needs some attention, you've always got ideas. You've always got creativities. You're always really able to problem solve. And I feel like there's been something, like I'm hearing that even for like 6 months, there's been something like processing in your mind. This could be, doesn't have to be 6 months, can be up to 6 months. But I feel like this is that like, yeah, it's almost like you've had this idea or you've had this desire or this passion, and I just feel like you've done nothing with it. It might be the fact that you want to move. It might be the fact you want to study, new business, new job, new friends, new lover, new habits. So again, I feel like that's why Spirit's leaving it open, because yeah, I just feel like you're so creative that you've always sort of got something going on. So it could be really related to whatever is at this time. But basically they're saying like you're in charge of the driver's seat. You can get behind the wheel and start putting this in motion. Again, probably not advisable through Mercury retrograde, but definitely laying down foundations or doing some study or research and being like, okay, well, let's use starting a business as an example. Do I need a website? How much is that going to cost? Where do I get it done? Do I do it myself? Just start writing down and taking notes on your ideas and how you're going to implement them, so that when Mercury's over, you can actually start putting things into play, okay? It's not to say you can't start putting things into action, but if it's technology based, I would hold out a bit of time. Remember, nothing goes wrong, and you can't let a planet dictate your actions. But I have noticed a theme that when things are done or bought or sold or whatever under Mercury retrograde, 9 times out of 10, there's a little bit of a retaliation. So just, if it feels right, go for it. But yeah, you're ready to move this. Like, you're ready to move this. And even the word move, some of you might be looking at moving house, moving location. I know the way the world is locked down at the moment, lockdowns, all the things that are going on. Like, some people they want to move, want to try something new. It's been a big couple of years. So whatever this is, you're thinking about it, you want to do it, it's time to do it. Jump in the driver's seat and get to work. Okay, this is an idea. This is something still fairly new. So it's not saying take major action, but just like get behind the wheel and be like, okay, like, how can we make this happen? How can we bring this to life? How can we maybe move this idea from being an idea and take it forward into actual 3D reality? Okay, so a bit of thinking time for you. I feel like this is going to be a lot more thinking and possible, I feel like you'll be meditating a little bit on this. I feel like you'll just be looking at your options as opposed to taking major action. But again, write things down. Just put anything that's coming up in your head down on paper. And when Mercury's softened and it's ended, look back and see what jumps out. Because that will be Spirit's punch to be like, that's it. That's the next best step. Okay? You might not get the whole thing in one go. You might just get a couple of little steps, a couple of little ideas. Anything movement is movement. But like I said, I feel like this is something that's been stewing around your mind for months. And if not your mind, your energy, Spirit's been maybe trying to guide you in this direction, and you're just like, what? And now it's like, you know what? I've been thinking about this for so long, and I think it's time to just bite the bullet. Spirit's like, yes. Yes. You're in the driver's seat. Let's go. Okay. So whatever idea it is, write it down, write it all out, see what sticks, see what doesn't. Let's get movement behind it. Okay. For love through Mercury retrograde pile 3, and see, just quickly, but that is when I said movement, and that's why as soon as I pulled this pile out and I was stretching, and I was like, it just almost like I've been locked up in this ball, and all I want to do is just stretch everything out, open up my heart, just let all the heaviness go, let all the tension go, and move. Okay, so that's what I mean. Maybe this idea has been stewing, and it's just created this heaviness in your body, in your muscles, in your heart chakra, in your chakras in general. So, some healing around this will be helpful. Clear out any of the negative debris so that you can, and even stretching and yoga, I think, is going to be really helpful for you, just to get the creative juices flowing. Okay, but back to love, getting to know each other. So for some of you, this might be around dating, putting yourself back out on the dating scene. Maybe you've been doing all the self-work and you're like, you know what, I'm ready for this. And again, Spirit's like, yeah, okay, so start taking some action. But just know as well, I feel again, you just need to maybe look at what you want in a partner what you value. So for those who aren't maybe in relationships, you know, this is a good time to sit back and go, okay, what do I actually want in a partner? Like, how do I want to get to know someone? You know, do I want to share these values with them? Do I want them to be a certain height? Do I want them to live in a certain area, have a certain, like, you know, like habits? Do they smoke? Do they not smoke? Like, you know, really look at what you want in a partner and how, like, you'd like to spend time with them. You know, do you like more outdoors lifestyle? Do you like sitting at home watching a movie? Do you like playing board games? You know, really go through and nitpick at your ideal partner, at your ideal, like, lover, like, relationship. You know, what does it look like? And also, this is like, I feel like you've been spending the time getting to know yourself, and this is up for review. Like, I feel like maybe the dating you've done in the past hasn't met your needs, and so now it's like, okay, well, before I just jump back in the game, like, I need to maybe just get to know what I actually desire in a partner now, because things have changed. A lot has changed this year, like even in the last couple of months. So take the time to actually reflect and go, what do I actually value in a person and in a partner? Write it out, get super specific. And then, like I said, start thinking about how, you know, do you go online? Do you go to speed dating? Do you just start talking to people, walking the dog in the park? Like, you know, how do you want to get to know someone? Again, it's being super specific with the universe and being like, okay, like, this is what I want. So I feel like, again, it's about starting to take action on your love life. If you are in a relationship, I feel like this retrograde is saying to you, hey, maybe you just need to get to know each other a little bit more, you know, like, look at where you're at. Maybe you feel like you're, again, a bit of a checkpoint, and it's like, this is a good relationship, but can it be better? Like, are there still things I don't really know about you? Like do we want to maybe mix things up and, I don't know, try a new date idea? Or, like, you know, again, it's getting to know what you value and if your partner is valuing that same thing. And it's not to say you have to be on the same page with everything, but it's saying if you are in a relationship, use this time to, like, deepen your connection in some way. Like, bring the topic up. You know, maybe you've hit a bit of a stagnancy and you're just like, well, we got to know each other and we kind of just got comfortable. So, like, yeah, like I said, for pile 3, I think across the board, just like, you've just almost been wrapped up in this box, and you're like, it's fine here. It's a bit cramped, but it's all good. Like, I'm safe and well. And now you're just like, nah, I'm ready to really, like, stretch out, spread my wings, and make a bit of progress. So again, that goes across the board for your general life, but also in your relationship. So if you are with someone, it's saying, like, you know, bring up the topic. Get to know each other, play a game, do something different, like, do something that kind of reboots the love. And like I said, if you're single and you're considering moving into the dating scene again, like, really get particular on what you want in a partner. Like I said, maybe you've had a bit of a bad run and you're like, oh my God, like, the thought of it, no. So, you know, spend this time, get specific. Okay? Now let's go Spirit's guidance and finish this off. That's why. Law of attraction. Each thought is an investment. At your request, we'll attune to your energy. So like I said, using this time to reflect on your ideas and what you want the outcome to look like, Spirit can help you. If you're just walking around being like, I want a new job, or I want a new partner, or, you know, they're like, well, was that it? Like, you know, you're in control. Use this time to get super specific with what you want. You know, if you want this idea to be a new business and make good money, you know, write it down, get specific, and be like, yeah, specific is like a massive word. I think I've said it 100 times, but that's what Spirit's saying. They can help you better when you're super specific and you ask them directly to help you move this into a good place. Okay? So that's for you, group 3. I hope that helps provide some clarity. Like I said, Mercury retrograde, it's not about taking major action, it's just using it as a checkpoint. Okay, so let me know in the comments below if it was helpful, if your message was for you. Maybe parts of it were, maybe parts of it weren't, maybe it wasn't for you at all. But remember, you can book a private reading with me. The link to my store is in the description box. And yeah, happy Mercury retrograde. Bye.